Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to prepare wine which is more strong and more colorful. Previously I've done a video on how to make a wine, and after watching that video my viewers asked me how to make a wine which is more strong and more colorful. And today I'll be showing you how to make a wine which is more strong and more colorful. And wine is good for health, and it glows the skin of ladies. And also it has got one property, that is it cures thrush. Thrush is a mouth infection which will be seen in small newborn babies who are undergoing milk feeding and all. You can see white patches on their tongue. So this can be cured if we apply some wine on their tongue. So many a times we may not have homemade wine at our home, so we will go outside and purchase wine. So we don't know what they mix in that wine. So uh, to avoid risks, we can make this easy homemade wine at home, and we can safely give it to our kids and for small children who are having thrush, so that can be cured easily. Now today let's see how to make a wine which is more strong and colorful, and let's see the ingredients required for making that wine. Now let's see the ingredients required for making our more strong and colorful wine. We need 5 kilograms of black grapes. Here I've taken grapes which contain seeds in them. I'm not taking seedless grapes because they don't add the absolute flavor to our wine. Only grapes which contain seeds, they add more color as well as taste. And these grapes should be washed and dried well. Now let's move on to our next ingredient, that is yeast. Here I've taken dry yeast, 2 tablespoons of dry yeast, and then we need 1 handful of wheat. And our next ingredient is cardamom. Here I've taken 1/4 cup of cardamom, and then we need 1/4 cup of cinnamon and 1/4 cup of cloves as well. And then we need sugar. So here I've taken 3.5 kg of sugar, and then we need water which is boiled and cooled. So here I'm taking beetroot water. Here I've added beetroot into water and I've boiled it and cooled it down. So this adds more color to our wine. So here I'm adding beetroot water which is boiled and cooled down. So these are the ingredients required for making our wine which is more strong as well as more colorful. Now let's move on to the process of making our wine. The wine which we are making today can be made within 10 to 11 days. So this wine which we are making today can be made within 10 to 11 days. So normally preparation of wine takes 21 days. Today I'll be showing this version in which we can make wine within 10 to 11 days. Now let's move on to the process of making our wine. For making our wine more stronger, here I'll tell you one thing. We have to powder both cloves and cardamom, and if we add them into the wine, they make the wine more stronger. So now we have to powder both cardamom and cloves as well, and then we have to add them. Cinnamon, here we are not going to powder them, we are going to add them in the same way. So now let's powder both of them, cloves and cardamom. Here I've taken a mixer jar. Let's add both of them into the mixer jar. Now let's grind them well. Here we have powdered both of them. Let's transfer it into a bowl. Now the next process is crushing our grapes. So this we need to be a bit careful that while crushing the grapes, we should be keen that we are not breaking the seeds, because if the seeds, if they are broken, there will be a bitter taste in our wine. So to avoid that, we have to only crush the grapes without breaking the seeds. And if you just crush it in the pulse 1 and 2, and that would be sufficient. So now let's start crushing them. Here I've taken 5 kgs of black grapes. Now let's crush them. So that's enough. Here on pulse we have crushed it in the pulse 1 and 2, and that's enough. So only the skin and the pulp should be crushed, not the seed. Now let's you can see over here that we have only crushed the skin and the pulp, so that's enough. So now let's transfer it into another bowl, and in the same way let's crush the rest of it, 5 kgs of black grapes. Now let's start layering. Here I've taken a glass jar. First let's layer it with sugar. For 5 kgs of grapes, I am adding 3.5 kg of sugar. As wine keeps fermenting, the taste increases and the sweetness decreases. Then please don't think that the wine is spoiled. And you can add sugar, sufficient amount of sugar, as it reduces its sweetness. Now let's, on top of the sugar, let's layer it with powdered cardamom and cloves. Let's add them on top of our sugar, which we have layered first. Let's add cinnamon sticks. Now let's add some wheat. And now on top of this, let's add our crushed grapes. Now into this we are going to add our crushed grapes. We are going to layer it. So this is an homemade wine. So into this we are not adding any artificial flavors or preservatives. So everything is natural over here. Now let's layer this with our crushed grapes. Here we have crushed only the skin and the pulp, not the seed. Here we have layered our crushed grapes. Now let's repeat the same layering. We'll be repeating the same layering. Again, we'll be adding sugar, powdered cardamom and cloves, cinnamon sticks, wheat, and again our grapes. So it's the same process of layering. Here I'm going to divide 5 kilograms of grapes into 2 jars. So each jar I'll be adding 1 tablespoon of dry yeast. Into this jar I'm adding 1 tablespoon. Into the other jar I'll be adding another tablespoon. So together we'll be adding, for 5 kgs of grapes, we'll be adding 2 tablespoons of yeast. Now into this let's add our beetroot water, which is boiled and cooled down. So here I'm going to add beetroot water, which is boiled and cooled down. The measure is, for 1 kg of grapes we will be adding 1 liter of this beetroot water, which adds more color to our wine. Now here we have added the water. So now let's close the lid and keep it aside for 1 hour. After 1 hour the yeast gets fermented well. Then we can once again layer the same layering. So after 1 hour, you can see here that the yeast is fermented well. So here our yeast, it's fermented well. Now let's, on top of this, we'll be doing this layering, the same layering once again. So here we have layered all our ingredients well, and and our yeast also we have fermented it for 1 hour, and again we have layered it. So this wine can be made within 10 to 15 days, and if you keep it for 21 days also, it would be more stronger. So the more you keep it, the more stronger it will be, and I'll show you after 10 days how the result is. 10 to 11 days. So now we have to strain our grapes well. So on top of our strainer, I have added one muslin cloth, or either you can place a cotton cloth over it. And into this, let's add our grapes and let's strain it well. So here now I've strained our wine into 2 containers. Now we'll be transferring into a glass jar. So this can be consumed now itself like this. So for preserving it, I'm transferring it into a glass jar. So here as a wine which is more strong and more colorful, it's ready over here. Now let's transfer it. So try making this wine, which is a homemade wine, and it is a non-alcoholic version. And let's celebrate this Christmas and New Year with our homemade wine. And I wish a very happy New Year and Christmas from our team of Absolute Flavor. After trying this version, do let me know your suggestions through comment box and share this version with your friends. Like, share and subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming up with variety videos. Till then, stay tuned to my channel.